For millennia, the vast, mysterious ocean has claimed its tributes. Ships, once proud symbols of human ingenuity and ambition, have vanished beneath their waves, taking with them lives, cargo, and countless stories. Yet, for much of history, these dramatic conclusions were only ever witnessed by those aboard, or by a few lucky or unlucky souls on a distant shore. The true, visceral horror of a ship's final moments remained largely unseen, a terrifying tale told secondhand, imagined in the mind's eye. But with the dawn of the moving image, a new era began. The camera, first a bulky, hand-cranked marvel, then a sophisticated electronic eye, started to capture history as it unfolded. And among the most compelling, heartbreaking, sometimes inspiring subjects it would record were the sinking ships. These aren't just accidents. They are often the nexus of human error, natural fury, and technological limits, made all the more poignant by the silent, unblinking witness of the lens. Our journey tonight delves into the real history of these filmed shipwrecks, tracing the evolution of maritime disaster capture from early, grainy newsreels to the high-definition, immediate coverage of today. We'll explore the context, the impact, and the enduring legacy of these powerful images. The dawn of moving images, early 20th century captures. The early 20th century was a time of immense maritime expansion. Giant ocean liners promised luxury and speed, cargo ships fueled global commerce, and navies flexed their growing power. The nascent film industry, eager for dramatic content, was present at many significant events. While actual footage of a ship actively sinking was rare due to the circumstances, early cameras captured the immediate aftermath, the salvage efforts, and sometimes the deliberate scuttling of vessels. One of the earliest, most vivid examples, though not a sudden sinking, involves the German High Seas Fleet at Scapa Flow in 1919. After the armistice of World War I, the bulk of the Imperial German Navy, 74 ships strong, was interned in the British naval base of Scapa Flow in Scotland. Fearing their ships would be divided among the Allied powers, Rear Admiral Ludwig von Reuter ordered their mass scuttling on June 21, 1919. This was an unprecedented act of defiance, and remarkably, cameras were there. We see grainy, almost dreamlike footage. Massive battleships and cruisers slowly listing and turning over, their enormous hulls sliding beneath the waves in a cascade of foam. It's a deliberate, almost choreographed act of destruction, yet profoundly impactful. This wasn't a sinking caused by storm or battle, but by a commander's will, ensuring his fleet would not fall into enemy hands. It was an early testament to the power of film to document even planned maritime losses. The interwar years saw incremental improvements in camera technology. Newsreel companies sent cameramen to capture everything from naval exercises to yacht races. Yet the chaos and speed of an unexpected sinking still largely eluded direct capture. What was often filmed were vessels in distress or the arduous, often heroic, rescue attempts. Consider the footage of the SS Vestris disaster in 1928. This American ocean liner foundered in a gale off the coast of Virginia, ultimately sinking with the loss of over 100 lives. While the actual sinking wasn't filmed, newsreels captured the desperate arrival of lifeboats, survivors being brought ashore, and the somber aftermath. These images, though indirect, brought the tragedy home to millions. Fostering public sympathy and calls for improved maritime safety, War at Sea, World War II, and the camera's unflinching eye. World War II marked a grim turning point. Naval warfare, already devastating, was now often captured on film by combat cameramen. Equipped with more robust cameras, these brave individuals captured the brutal reality of ships under attack, enduring explosions, fires, and ultimately, their demise. The footage from this era is raw, often chaotic, and deeply unsettling. We see destroyers taking torpedo hits, plumes of smoke rising from aircraft carriers, and merchant ships breaking apart after U-boat attacks. Much of this footage was captured for propaganda purposes, to showcase naval power or inspire patriotic fervor, but its historical value is immeasurable. Think of the chilling, iconic footage from the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. While much of the initial attack was too sudden and chaotic to be comprehensively filmed, Subsequent passes by Japanese aircraft and the frantic attempts to rescue sailors from damaged ships were caught on film. The site of the USS Arizona, already crippled, exploding into a massive fireball, or the capsized hull of the USS Oklahoma, are indelible images of maritime destruction. These weren't just ships, they were symbols of national strength, shattered in an instant. The Battle of Midway, the Battle of Leyte Gulf, the arduous convoys in the Atlantic, countless engagements saw ships succumb to bombs, torpedoes, and naval gunfire. Footage from these battles, often filmed from accompanying ships or aircraft, provides a stark, visceral record. We see ships listing precariously, smoke billowing, brave sailors abandoning their posts, and eventually, the final plunge beneath the waves. This era cemented the camera's role as an essential, if harrowing, historian of maritime conflict. One particularly poignant example, often seen in documentaries, is the footage of the USS Indianapolis survivors in the water, awaiting rescue. While not a sinking event, it speaks to the aftermath. A haunting image of human vulnerability after their ship had been lost to a Japanese submarine attack. The absence of the ship itself, replaced by endless ocean and desperate men, underscores the horror of its disappearance. Peace and peril, post-war civil disasters, and the media age. After World War II, as global travel and trade resumed, civilian maritime disasters continued. Improved communications and more widespread media coverage meant that when a passenger ferry or cargo ship met its end, the world was often watching, or soon would be. The SS Andrea Doria collision in 1956 is a classic example. This Italian ocean liner collided with the MS Stockholm off the coast of Nantucket. While the collision itself was shrouded in fog and darkness, the dramatic aftermath unfolded in daylight. News photographers and cameramen arrived on the scene, capturing the severely listing liner, its elegant profile now grotesquely distorted as passengers were bravely rescued. The images of the ship slowly succumbing to the Atlantic, its stern rising higher and higher before it slid away, became iconic. This event was a major media sensation, showcasing the power of photojournalism and early television news to bring a major maritime disaster into living rooms globally. As television became ubiquitous, the appetite for immediate visual news grew. When the MV Derbyshire, a huge bulk carrier, disappeared in a typhoon in 1980, there was no immediate camera footage of it sinking. However, the subsequent inquiries and the eventual discovery of its wreckage on the seabed, documented by ROV's remotely operated vehicles, brought a new dimension to understanding ship losses. The underwater camera became an essential tool for forensic examination. The late 20th century also saw the rise of more compact waterproof cameras, some even being deployed by individuals. While still rare for unexpected sinkings, the capability was increasing. The digital age and the ubiquitous lens. The turn of the millennium brought a revolution in imaging technology. Digital cameras, then camcorders, and finally, the ubiquitous smartphone meant that almost anyone could become a documentarian. This dramatically changed how shipwrecks, especially those near shore or involving many witnesses, were captured. The MV Donapaz disaster in 1987, though prodigital, highlights mass casualty events, was one of the worst peacetime maritime disasters. This Philippine passenger ferry collided with an oil tanker, igniting a horrific fire. While the actual collision and immediate sinking were not filmed, the shocking aftermath and rescue efforts were captured by news crews, showing the scale of the human tragedy. The MS Estonia ferry disaster in 1994 in the Baltic Sea, though primarily documented by its horrific death toll, also saw rescue footage from helicopters and ships, showing desperate survivors in life rafts. The subsequent underwater investigations using ROVs yielded crucial footage of the sunken wreck, highlighting the damage to its bow visor, a key cause of the capsizing. This event underscored the importance of technical documentation alongside human witness. Perhaps one of the most widely circulated, albeit initially speculative, pieces of footage relates to the MV Seoul ferry sinking in 2014 off the coast of South Korea. This tragedy, which claimed over 300 lives, mostly high school students, was extensively filmed by passengers on their phones as the ship listed and slowly capsized. The students, tragically, were often told to remain in their cabins, This raw, immediate, and deeply personal footage provided a chilling, real-time perspective of the unfolding disaster from within the doomed vessel, a historical first for a major maritime loss. It showcased the power and horror of citizen journalism in an era where everyone carries a camera. The images of the ship's final moments slowly turning over, its keel emerging from the water before sliding beneath, are seared into global consciousness. Beyond accidents, deliberate sinkings for ecological purposes to create artificial reefs have also been documented in high definition. We see former warships or cargo vessels meticulously prepared, then flooded and precisely lowered to the seabed. These controlled sinkings offer a stark contrast to accidental losses, yet still capture the majesty and finality of a ship's descent. The age of surveillance, ROVs, satellite, and the future of filmed disasters. Today, the camera's reach extends far beyond the surface. Remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, autonomous underwater vehicles, AUVs, and sophisticated sonar systems allow us to explore shipwrecks in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean. Remotely operated vehicles, or OVS, autonomous underwater vehicles, AUVs, and sophisticated sonar systems allow us to explore shipwrecks in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean. These technologies don't capture the sinking in real time, but they offer unprecedented views of the aftermath. It's often decades or even a century later, providing vital historical and archaeological data. The exploration of the RMS Titanic wreck, for instance, first discovered in 1985, has generated countless hours of mesmerizing deep-sea footage. We see the majestic but broken bow, the detached stern, and the debris field, each frame telling a story of its fateful night in 1912. This underwater cinematography allows us to virtually visit these lost giants, understanding their construction, their destruction, and the inexorable power of the ocean. Beyond historic wrecks, modern maritime incidents are increasingly captured by an array of technologies. Coastal surveillance cameras, onboard CCTV systems, passing ships with high-definition cameras, and even satellite imagery can now document aspects of a vessel's distress and ultimate loss. Consider the footage often seen of large container ships struggling in heavy weather, or the moments leading up to a grounding. While the final plunge is still often obscured by conditions or lack of nearby cameras, the surrounding events are increasingly covered. Environmental disasters too often involve sinking ships. The deliberate sinking of the MV Stella Maris oil tanker in 2018 off Tunisia, after it began to leak oil, was a planned event to contain the spill, captured by accompanying vessels. Similarly, the aftermath of major oil spills, it's often involving sunken vessels, is meticulously documented by cameras to assess environmental damage and plan recovery. The future of filming sinking ships will likely involve even more advanced drone technology, both aerial and underwater, capable of operating in extreme conditions and providing real-time data from multiple perspectives. The concept of black boxes for ships, already implemented, also includes voyage data recorders, VDRs, that can store video from the bridge, potentially providing a chilling, immediate record of a disaster from the crew's perspective. Though this footage is usually for accident investigation and not widely publicized, the history of sinking ships caught on camera is not just a chronicle of disaster. It's a testament to human curiosity, resilience, and the relentless march of technological progress. From the grainy, silent footage of German battleships scuttling themselves to the raw, heartbreaking smartphone videos from within a capsizing ferry, the camera has served as an unflinching witness. These images compel us, horrify us, and educate us. They force us to confront the fragility of human endeavors against the might of nature, the consequences of human error, and the brutal reality of conflict. They are vital historical documents, shaping our understanding of maritime safety, naval warfare, and the deep emotional toll of lives lost at sea. As long as humanity sails the oceans, ships will occasionally succumb to their fate. And as long as technology advances, there will be a lens, somewhere, ready to capture their final, dramatic, and often tragic descent. The stories held within these frames are not just about steel and water. They are about humanity's enduring dance with the vast, unpredictable blue, and the indelible mark left when that dance takes a sudden final bow.